Benji, and welcome to the 5th episode of the apartment makeover series. Today we are working on the plant office. It is very messy in here. Okay, Chris, zoom out for the big reveal. We kind of just have a bunch of stuff everywhere. We haven't done anything to this room since our roommates moved out, so it's kind of been like a storage place. I have some shelves and boxes that I need to open, some random furniture things that we don't know where to put yet. I'm also using this space as a place to grow my plants and propagations that I sell in my shop, or plants that I just don't have a good place for. Over here on this table is a mess, but I have a lot of my tools that I'm using. My tool bag that is very disorganized, this random anthurium. I don't even know why it's here. I just didn't know where to put it. I have other things like a printer down there and a label printer. And then these curtains are just a piece of cloth that I cut in the center to turn into curtains. So this isn't very like thoughtfully designed aesthetically. I don't even think it's designed right now. What I need this room to do for me is to be a place that is very like practical and functional, to do things like repotting plants or packaging or taking product photos, or just like doing more messy, like hands-on things. I also need it to be a place to propagate my plants that I sell on my website. I'm gonna be setting up more shelves as space to grow more plants. And also Theo is like kind of falling asleep in my arms right now. I want to be able to work on my aquariums more. As you can see, they're not really in the most manicured state. Once this room is really cleaned up and more streamlined, I'll want to work on my aquariums more, and then hopefully finally make some aquarium content for you guys. I just need to clean out this office, organize it, probably clean the floors and stuff, and then I need to build shelves to put in here, set up grow lights. Oh, also I forgot to mention that there is a closet in here. It's also just been storage space for boxes and practical things that we need. But yeah, I want to organize this area more. First, we're going to clean out the closet so that way we can store things in there that we'll need for later. So I need this, and this. What is that? Oh, do you want this frame maybe? Yes. I have like this random bag of cork bark. I lost this stud finder, so I got another stud finder, but then I found this stud finder. Now I have two. This is why you need to stay organized. So I cleared off the work table and cleaned it, and I love using this sped up footage because it always looks pretty funny to me, like the way we move around, and it just looks really silly. But I organized my things and I found spots for them, and Chris swept the floor. It's recording, by the way. Did not know that. We've made progress. I cleared off this table. I'm gonna put this on one of my shelves that I put up later. I want this to be mostly cleared out so that way I have like a good working space that's clear most of the time. Hopefully it'll stay that way. All of the other boxes that were right here, they're either for my parents or things that I'm gonna be using in future videos, and I moved those into the closet. I've organized the closet and the storage and the tools a little bit. It's more organized and I can still like walk in. So these are shelves and grow lights. These are similar to this shelf that you see right here. It's from Muji, and this is what I'm using to grow a lot of my passifloras or other propagations that I have for my shop. I organized this top shelf a little bit. There's a lot of Patreon things that I have in here, like Patreon mail. I have some staghorn fern boards, and then this box is full of cork bark. So I still need to do something with these mirrors. I'm not sure where I want them yet, or if I'm even going to use all of them. I brought the shelves out to the living room so I had more space to put them together. As I was doing that, Chris cleaned the floor, and then Theo's just sitting there watching him. Chris is doing the same floor cleaning method that we learned from my mom in episode 1. Like I said earlier, these shelves are from Muji. I could have saved money and used cheaper wire shelves, but I don't really like how those look because they often give a messy appearance. I think it's because they're see-through, so having a lot of wired shelves together gives an incomplete look. Also, these shelves are very sturdy and the perfect dimensions for what I need. If I wanted to, I could probably incorporate these into my main living space, so I imagine I'll be keeping these for a while. I want to increase my growing capacity for plants, so these shelves will really help out. They're also nice for terrariums or other small personal projects. I'm really happy to be able to have this like dedicated plant space so I can fulfill my collector tendencies without having a bunch of plants in my normal living space. We finished putting this shelf together. This one is like oak wood, and then it has the stainless steel, I don't know what this is called, stainless steel frame. And then this one over here is just stainless steel. It kind of breaks up like the sameness of all the oak wood. Let's bring these bad boys inside. Where should I put this one though?
In the middle of the wood ones.
You think? Okay, let's try it.
But not there.
Yeah.
That's not even common. That's always square. Oh, it looks way better now.
So we have the shelves set up. So I'm gonna put grow lights on this shelf. I already have them on this one. The stainless steel shelf over here, I'm gonna use for my printer and my label printer. I used to have my printer on the floor, but it just got like so dusty and dirty and gross. So I'm just gonna put this Anthurium on this shelf for now because I don't know where else to put it. Let's take a quick break and talk about the sponsor of this video, Milanote. Milanote is a tool for organizing your creative projects. It's a place to collect and organize all of your thoughts and ideas, put together checklists of everything that needs to be done, visualize and gather inspiration, and set a visual direction for a project. I used Milanote to collect inspiration for my plant office. Normally I just like screenshot a bunch of things that I see on social media and then it all ends up in my camera roll somewhere, but with Milanote I have a place to organize and put all of those things in one spot. Now I'm using it to help set the visual direction for my kitchen. What I really like about Milanote is the way that their templates prompt you with questions and they really help guide you in the creative process. For example, in the interior design brief template, there are questions like, what's the problem? Why does it matter? And how did this project come to life? Questions like these help create a solid foundation for the design and purpose of the work. In the future, I'd love to do client work with plant design, and Milanote would be a great resource for business and organization. Also, Theo is eating his food right now if you hear crunching. You can invite your colleagues and clients to your Milanote boards to collaborate in real time and gather important feedback. Milanote is available for free with no time limit. Sign up using the link in the description and start your next creative project. Let's put the grow light on the shelf. These are the Monios LEDs. I used these in the past while I was in college and they work really well and they're very easy to set up and they're easy to put onto shelves. I connect these to my shelves using zip ties. They come with a double-sided adhesive, but I really recommend not using that because it always falls down and you don't want to create a fire hazard for yourself. It comes with these clip things, so I just clip it to the top and do the other side. The clips on the lights have little holes on them, so I stuck the zip ties through. It would look better if I had longer zip ties, but I only had small ones, so I just chained a bunch together. Now I'm using the zip ties to attach it to the frame. You can probably find a spot to do this with most shelves. Now I tighten the zip ties to make it so it's kind of more flushed with the top of the shelf. Then I cut off the leftover bits of the zip tie. What's pretty cool about these grow lights is that you can connect, I think, up to 6 of them together to light all of them. So use like these connectors that they come with. Just simply connect it to the other light and voila. I'm gonna do the same method that I just showed you guys for these 2 shelves. I put all the lights on and tidied up the cords. I tied the cords together and then I zip tied them to the shelf. That way they're not just like hanging out and looking messy. I did that for all of them and it really helps make it look a little bit neater. I have my printer and my label printer plugged in off the ground and off of my table. Now I have more room to do work stuff and these won't be collecting dust on the floor. But right now I don't have enough plants that I'm planning to sell to put on these shelves, but in the meantime I'll just put some random plants that I have. This is just like so much nicer than what I had before. I still need to like do more design stuff in this room, but I'm happy with the direction it's going currently. It's very functional. I think that's all I'm gonna do for today. We kind of did a lot already, so I'm just gonna take a little break for myself and for Chris, but I will be back tomorrow to do more things. Hello, I am back and I've added a few things into this room. Here on this top shelf, we have some of my Passiflora that I am currently propagating. I just potted these earlier today. They are all in these black trays that don't have drainage holes. They're potted in these small little pots that do have drainage holes. I'm able to use this tray as a saucer to prevent the water from damaging the shelf. And these trays are able to fit 24 of these pots almost perfectly, and it's just such a nice setup for the Passiflora and growing small propagations like this. I added these small barbecue skewers to act as stakes for the Passiflora. That way the plant can climb on it, and it also helps keep the Passiflora stem from breaking during shipment. Overall, I think it's a very efficient setup, and once I have more Passiflora propagations going, I can put more on these shelves. I put this packing paper dispenser up here on the shelf. Before, I just had the roll of paper and I would have to pull it out and then use scissors and cut the paper into multiple pieces, but now I can easily just dispense it and then rip it off. And it's just making my life and Chris's life so much easier. We use this paper to pack the plants and like roll them into their own little burrito things and then put them in the boxes. And then I have an electronic packing tape dispenser that I want to show you guys. I've noticed that as I get older, I'm getting more excited about very lame things. So yeah, you can set the length that you want, and once it dispenses the tape and you pull it off, it will automatically dispense more tape and then cut it for you. Watch this. That is cool, you guys. I don't care what anyone says. That is like so cool and useful for me and Chris. So this is my table. This is my work table. It used to be our dining table out in the dining room, but it's kind of an awkward size for 2 people and it doesn't fit very well in the dining room. Like the dimensions are kind of weird for that spot. It is from Muji, but I got it from OfferUp, and it's just like a nice oak table. I got a lamp that I want to put over here, and then I got a little storage thing that I'm planning to put over there. And I will bring that in right now. I got this lamp on Etsy from a shop called Dorset Finds, and they have super cool vintage, antique, industrial lamps and furniture and things like that. This is clamped onto the table, and I think that's really cool because it's easy to move around, and I could put this like on a shelf or on my table or pretty much anywhere. It's like a very versatile lamp. It has this really beautiful porcelain green shade, and then there's a really nice like patina on the metal of the lamp that I'm a really big fan of, and it can move around like this. I'm always a fan of lamps that can move. But yeah, it can move and you can adjust how you want it to look. I think it gives a different feel and atmosphere to the space. Here is the little storage thing. It has 3 drawers. So I'm planning to put things that I need often in here, like maybe some small tools like screwdrivers or nails, or I can put in little things like my tweezers or my scissors. I still need to get some type of stool or chair. I'm thinking of like an old rolling chair. I purchased this for the frame, but it came with this print inside of it that I think I'm gonna keep because I think the keys are kind of cool. I'm sure you can already tell by the things I just added in and showed you guys. I'm going for a little bit of an industrial, like garage, studio, science lab type feeling, like an old vintage antique apothecary plant lab / mechanic workshop. I don't know, I'm just throwing words out there that I think kind of describes the look I'm going for. I don't know if there's a specific name for it. I don't know what the style is called exactly. I don't really want to call it industrial because when I look up industrial online, that's not really the style that I'm going for, because when I look up industrial interiors, it always looks kind of like a very modern take on an industrial look, which is fine, you know, but it's not really my taste. I want to put this up, I think maybe like right here. I have this stainless steel grid that I ordered about a week ago. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm planning to add it onto this wall. That way I can hang things like my hammer or my screwdriver or scissors or other things like that that I need often. So that way things are easy to access but are out of the way. Not only will that be very functional, it'll also, I think, look nice and lean into that workshop look. Can you just imagine tools and things like that hanging from this wall? Hopefully that arrives by the time I edit this video. This camera angle is kind of weird, but I was wondering what you guys are thinking I could do with this floor. I really don't like just the plain gray vinyl flooring. To me, it looks just like kind of sad and incomplete. I don't want to add just like a normal rug because this place is gonna probably get pretty dirty, so I'd probably do like an outdoor material rug or maybe like a large vinyl mat. I don't know. So please leave your suggestions in the comments. Hello, mister. He just pooped on the floor recently. You had diarrhea, huh? I have this mirror and I was thinking of putting it here, but I'll just leave it leaning against this wall until I know exactly what I want to do with this corner. Here we are in another not so great camera angle in this corner next to the aquarium shelf. This is one of my Passiflora columboxii mother plants. So I take cuttings from this plant and grow the propagation, and then those are the plants that I sell on my shop. I'm gonna add a net trellis on the wall and then put a grow light on top. I have this grow light from Soltech Solutions that I've just had for a while. This was one of the first ones that I got from them, but I didn't really love the black just because of the cord. I have all white walls, so the cord just really stuck out on the walls. But I think in this workshop plant office, the black cord doesn't stick out as much. I will add this on top of the plant, but I'm waiting for some hardware mounting things from Soltech. I'm not gonna put this up yet, but I will put the trellis up right now. This is the net trellis that I'm using. I use this in my bathroom and on my balcony. I need to cut this to size to fit in that little corner. It needs to be about 3 squares wide. Theo. To put the trellis on the wall, I'm going to use these adhesive clips. The trellis isn't very heavy and the plant itself isn't that heavy, so these clips work just fine to keep the trellis up. It's hard to show you guys, but I'm just putting the clip on the wall and then I'm tying each corner of the trellis onto the clips. It'll look really nice on this wall. It'll help cover up this blank space. And once the light's up here, it'll like cast a grow light spotlight right onto this plant. And I won't propagate all of it, so some of it will stay on the wall and just act as like a little bit of nice grown in decoration in this room. So yeah, this is what we have for now. It'll change a lot probably even within like the next week or the next 2 weeks. I don't want to buy things just to fill in space. Like I'd rather wait, get things that I actually love and want and will have for a while rather than just get like random things that I'll replace in a year. I'll show you guys around the office now to give you a better idea of what has changed and show some before and after pictures as well. So obviously still need a chair, and then I'm gonna put some things on this wall, but I really like the open table. That way I have room to do activities and work related things on this table. And then over here is where we have most of our growing shelves, and then we also have like a printer and then tape dispenser. This just offers so much more room for growing plants now. And then I'm not sure what we're gonna do for this corner. I'll have something there, but I'm waiting for the perfect thing. Here are my aquariums up top, which I am going to work on probably next week or maybe in 2 weeks. Theo just climbed under the shelf. Theo, come here. Theo. I'm excited for these aquariums to just look so much nicer. And then down here I have some of my larger plants and other plants that I'm not really growing to sell. These are mostly just for me. Like I have some anthurium down here that I wanted to give really good light. And then I have some other plants like my begonia dindui. And then I have a couple of small staghorn ferns growing down here as well that I don't want to mount yet because they're too small, but I want to give them really good light. So I have them hanging down here next to the grow light. And then over here is the Passiflora trellis mother plant growing area. And then we have the storage closet, which has some boxes in there, tools, packing supplies. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.